Good stuff here on Girl Talk.
That's right, I have a line.
Yeah. I'm sorry. That's okay. I'm like, lift and separate.
Bring me spot.
Much better than this, right? This just in.
Literally doing like the robot. It's like
Comical toys.
Hello and welcome on in to today's Girl Talk. We thank you so much for joining us. I think you'll be glad you did. We have an awesome show for you today. We are filming at William Thomas Custom Jewelers, and we're going to chat with the owner, Bill, later in the program, so you're not going to want to miss that. Right now, we get to chat with our friend and a wonderful lady from the Creative Company. We've talked with her about Women's Entrepreneurship Day Wisconsin, as she is the ambassador here. Also the owner of the Creative Company. This is Laura Gallagher. Thanks for being here.
You're welcome.
So glad to chat with you. I want to circle back to your company, the Creative Company, and share with viewers a little bit more about what it is that you do.
So the Creative Company is a public relations and digital agency. That means that we build websites, we do social media, we do email marketing. We help companies that are building, growing, or changing to achieve their goals.
Wow, that sounds like a lot. That's a lot to do, right? Daunting.
Short statement, big statement.
It is and it isn't. You know, it's essentially what you would find in a marketing department, but companies that are doing $5 million or less probably don't need a full marketing department. And companies that are in a fast growth mode, and this could be companies that are doing 100 million plus, they don't have the time to staff up if they're taking on a new product line or expanding in some way. It's true of nonprofit organizations when they're doing a capital campaign. They need somebody to come alongside that's already got all those pieces in place. Your art director, your web developer, your lead generation specialist, your public relations person, your marketing strategist, and we have all of that at the agency.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's a lot of work, huh? Especially with 2019 coming, I know a lot of these companies are just, they're like scrambling to see what they're going to do for 2019. And what can you tell us about how they can plan for the new year?
Well, first of all, have a plan, right? So most companies that we meet with don't have a marketing plan. And if they had one, maybe it was written by a business consultant and it sits on a shelf so they have general things kind of written out, but actually having a tactics plan that connects to your business objectives. So what revenue goals do you have? How does this tie in with sales and existing sales strategies that are in place? All of it's connected now. So for example, we send out an email campaign. We can tell, who's clicking on what and what's of interest to them, and does that go to the website? And so for example, with Women's Entrepreneurship Day, we know that 51% of the women, it was mostly women, of the women who went to our website bought the ticket on the first click. That's really powerful. Yeah. Now, we are a decisive bunch, the women who are attracted to that narrative, but that also tells me that the narrative was so strong in the marketplace that they knew when they went there that they didn't want to mess around. Now, there are a few people, we can see this now. We have the data to show that somebody's looking at 8 different things on the website, and they're visiting 8 different times. There are more deliberate, slower sort of thinkers out there, but by and large, the vast majority of the people who came to our website bought on the first click, which is fantastic.
Yes. Wow. Take action. Move forward.
And that took 2 years. Remember, we had 1 year where we were trying things out, and that's the other part that I would say is you're going into 2019 and you're thinking about planning. Know that we've never lived in a better time where you can try out different messages, different advertising strategies on social platforms. Have a plan, but always begin with testing. It's not like pre-internet where you would create a TV ad and you're hoping your messaging is on target and it goes out to the masses, and if it flops, right? Like the JCPenney story, when they rebranded JCPenney stores and their stock initially went way up, but then it plummeted, and he was so bold and confident that he launched it in all of his stores. He would have been better off testing in a few to see if customers responded to the no discount policy, and of course it blew up in his face. There are better stories that we can tell, and we can learn from lessons like that too, but we don't have to go all in anymore, and we shouldn't.
And you bring up a good point with having a marketing plan, but maybe having it up to date too. Something that you wanted to talk about specifically was messaging. Can you tell us about that?
Right. So clarity trumps just about everything else. There are a lot of narratives, billions of narratives that we're competing with in the marketplace now. So the more clear you are about your messaging, the more likely that people are going to respond. We don't have an hour and a half. We're not going to look at the website that has all the copy on it that tells us your whole great life story. And it's actually really complicated and hard to take all of that and turn it into a very clear, concise message. But if there's one thing that you do this next year, it's to take the time to figure out what your unique position is in the marketplace, why customers, what they need that you have, what problem that you're solving, and then get that into your messaging and make it super tight.
Wow, one of my messages just fell out on the floor while you were talking about messaging, and I was kidding. This is a huge topic. There's so many more questions that we have. Maybe we can revisit it next time we see you, as I'm sure lots of business owners have more questions. Laura Gallagher with The Creative Company, thanks for being here.
You're welcome.
We'll be back with more Girl Talk coming up after the break.